Hello and welcome to Jarviskjir Mind Over Matter, session 18. Y'all, what a ride it has been. You've gone from doing simple diplomacy to the whole mess you've ended up in now.
I've got the butterflies.
Yes. So, to recap what happened last time, you
made poor choices.
You made poor choices. Well, you made choices. Whether they're rich or poor, we'll find out. But one way or another, you end up meeting back up with the Mad Priestess and basically trying to buy more time. She's like, no. Until Ashal actually managed to have a little bit of... Both Oshun and Ashal actually managed to reach her to some degree. And Ashal managed to discover a little bit more about what she's actually doing in the Fanged Asylum. And what her plan was. And at the same time, have definitely seemed to convince a little bit of a change in her, which is equally as terrifying. You ended off the session with the splitting the party, which always goes well. It actually usually does in our games. I don't think there's ever been a situation where splitting the party has ended up in someone dying horribly, but there's always a first.
Knock on wood.
Ocean is staying at the Fanged Asylum with the Mad Priestess and the Spiderkin camp. And while Bogdan and Ashal head back to Narashiro to now fetch allies. Last session there was the talk beforehand of, man, if shit really goes wrong, we really need allies. And now it's like, we're getting help, we're calling an adult. Is basically you guys' plan. From all
Told you I was thinking ahead.
You actually, like, I was just thinking then, it's like, oh man, Bogdan was like one step ahead there. One step ahead, and the party's like, why would you need to, we're not gonna need help. Basically, you know, Ashar and Bogdan talked, and it's like, okay, now we're getting warriors to fight, we need to stop her. While Oshun's still gonna be there for a couple of days to, who knows, maybe try to commune with her.
Optimistic!
So,
Days is optimistic.
there's no way I would kill Oshun while the rest of the party is not here to do anything about it.
Not unless Oshun makes some very bad choices over the next couple of days.
The Mad Priestess gets hungry.
Character-based.
You've never seen her eat.
Hungry, there are tons of spiderkin. She just pluck one from the ceiling and have like a munch, like a fresh apple.
The problem is that I can imagine Oshun being like, no, take my arm instead.
Yeah, that's true.
She's got 6.
You see?
So, we actually are going to start with Oshun. At the end of last session, when you were kind of talking about your plan, and when I had to end last session, you basically said that you wanted to leave the asylum, find a safe place, and meditate, and set out the communal ritual that Cinnabelle taught you how to do last time. Is that still the plan?
Yes, but Oshun's going to be on that platform that you described.
Stage.
Where, the stage, yeah. And she's going to have set out all of the things, entering the not sleep.
Yeah, it's like a trance, a meditation.
Of elves, yeah. And just wait. She's going to be reflecting on what it means to be a priestess of Ivrith and the gifts that Ivrith gives, the nature of their goddess and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And how, like, they are all parts of the same whole.
Points on a
And
web.
how I think, yes. Ooh.
Spiders, it's a spider thing. There's a spider thing. I don't know if you noticed.
But I think she really does like properly solidify what she's been thinking this whole time, which is that obviously Bogdan and Charles don't know this, but the priestess is her, and she's just hoping that the priestess thinks that she is Oshun enough to be brought back from anywhere that she's being misled to, because the priestess could be any one of them if they'd gone down that road, because they are all part of Ivrath.
Right.
And so it's really tied together with, like, if she can't save or re-guide the priestess onto the path of Ivrath, then there's a part of her that would die. It's like she has to do this because she has to believe that someone like her who can come back. And that's like, yeah.
That's what you ruminate on and meditate on over the night.
What she's ruminating on, yeah, exactly.
I would like you to make a perception check.
Yeah, alright.
For while you are trancing, you are aware of your surroundings in a way almost more in a using a sixth sense than your basic ones.
Oh darn. I was like, yeah, I've got loads of things in... Oh, I'm sorry. I've got loads of things in perception. Then I was like, oh wait, no, that's persuasion.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Reroll that without advantage, will ya?
Yes.
See, that's a lot better. That's a lot better.
She follows thoughts like she's got like the air is a very web around her, and she can feel each vibration of like the breeze.
It's a shame you did a 22 though.
Yeah, the DC was 22.
That's the DM talking there. That's the TM energy.
Mad Priestess rolled a 22 for stealth.
She's not rolling anything. I haven't even got my dice out yet. You, like I said, you are aware, almost in a sixth sense way. Almost in, you are kind of reaching out astrally while you're doing this, probably subconsciously to a degree. But of course, you are thinking about the Mad Priestess.
Poltergeist jokes, but I'll try. She'll go, they're here.
You know that the Mad Priestess spends her time upon the stage and the archways above it, the fangs of the Fanged Asylum. So you do feel her up there, in her web, which is in the highest parts of the fangs. But at a certain point, she clatters down and leaves, and you can feel the vibrations of it. She is moving quietly and stealthily, but not enough for you to not notice her. Wait. Whatever. At the same time, she's not, it's not like how she went in and out of Narashiro, for she owns this place. And that's very much why you can track her, because she has no reason to be particularly stealthy in her own home. But curiously, she climbs down to the stage, not near you at all, although there would definitely be a moment of recognizing that you were there, and then clambers down the wall on the far side of the stage to the outside of the building, and stays there for some time.
Do I have any idea what she might be doing?
You can feel, with that 20, vibrations through the stone.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It just went straight to innuendo. I'm sorry, okay?
Like, I didn't even... Like, we could have gone there, but we did not.
Look, Slashes is in chat, alright?
You know by now.
Dividends to Slashes.
Yeah, you can feel, you know, something through the stone that this structure is made of, the umbral stone that Ashal has communicated with before. You wouldn't be able to see exactly what she's doing without further checks or getting closer or anything like that. But I would allow like an investigation check to try and feel it out by vibration alone.
They're spiders. They're covered in fluff that's designed to sense this sort of stuff. But not enough, apparently.
I think Ocean's first instinct would be that it's rhythmic, and it's not. It's enough that you when you first feeling it, you're like, oh, it's like a tippy-tappy of movement or of dance or something. Of course, spiders dance. It's been established a gazillion times. But it's not rhythmic enough for that.
Oshun is definitely, her face at least, is based off of a jumping spider. And they're my favorite kind of spider because they dance.
Yeah. And spiders drum as well. So, like, percussion is very
spiders are the
fitting.
best. Just not the shitty, scary little ones that you don't know, like, where they are.
I like the little ones. I don't like the big ones.
No, the big ones are cute.
The little ones keep the other bugs out of my bathroom.
Fair enough.
Although sometimes you're sitting on the toilet and one's like...
Oh, I hate that.
Please. Please. No autographs right now.
A tiny spider autograph. or is it a full-sized autograph?
Did you sign my web?
I don't know. Whichever's funnier, I guess.
It's that kind of day, isn't it?
You just don't want to go and look at what she's doing. You're worried.
Well, I've committed the idea of Oshun waiting no matter what in this circle. She's not going to approach or chase. She's not a desperate bitch. No. She isn't going to encroach or nag in the priestess's own home, in her space. She is like, put herself in a place where she's obvious and hopefully not intrusive, but also not in a corner somewhere. Just to see if in days, hours or days or whatever, if she's going to come. And like, if she doesn't, I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but Oshun's just...
What you
Sorry, I
feel...
have to shame.
No. What you feel... I knew there was a long enough pause that I knew we all thought about it.
What?
And...
It's okay.
We're not going to talk about it. You can't save the mad priestess with just one good lay, Zoe, okay? That's not how this story's gonna end.
Of course
Although,
I can.
honestly, it totally could be. With how everything else has been set up and the
I
themes.
now accept that challenge.
Over the course of the day that you are waiting, and this is like a 24 hours sort of thing because you are trancing, you don't really need to get up and do anything.
Feels like she has to pee, but she's pretty sure that's just a child.
Yeah. You are not approached by the Mad Priestess. You can feel her moving around very slowly the outer wall with whatever she's doing. And I think...
Trapping me in here.
This is when we switch to what Bogdan and Ashal are doing.
She's still alive.
Step 1 of the plan complete.
Still alive. The cake.
You're doing heresy and you're still alive. Bogdan and Ashal, you can get back to Narashiro in an, you know, I think it's like a 2 to 3 day journey. Would you like be rushing the beetle?
Oh.
I think we should.
There are 4 levels of speed, right, in D&D. There's slow and stealthy, or cool original, fast, painfully fast.
I think we need
fast
fast.
still includes
We need fast.
rest. The
Yeah, we
downside
need
being
fast.
that you're less aware, so if someone were following you, you wouldn't know.
Sounds made up. We go fast.
Sure. That would
Okay,
mean that it would be like a day and a half journey through here, because you've done this a bunch of times. It gets faster every time. Most, in part, because the beetle is cleaving way through the fungal trees. It's a big boy.
Yeah,
can
this
follow
whole
the
adventure is just to make a road.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If we all die, then at least someone will be able to find the Mad Priestess. Just follow the beetle path.
Yeah, she's done all this work to get rid of a map, and we've just been trailblazing.
That's true. You get back to Narashiro. The city is gloriously oblivious to what revelations you have had. You know, it's one of those things where you arrive urgently and market's still bustling with the regular bullshit that's always going on, and people are talking, and it's the same. These poor fools don't know what's coming. What's your first port of call when you enter the city? You might have more, you might only have one. I don't really know exactly. Your plans might have changed since then. But what's the first thing you do?
Well, I need to do a little bit of shopping. Not a whole lot.
Oh my god. Bogdan and Ashal have a chill, session. And
Oh, I'm so glad we can have this relaxing shopping spree while, before the...
They go to the hot springs. They
Look.
see.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. I gotta get spell components, okay?
Yeah, and it makes, you enter through a market. Like, every time you enter a city, you enter through a market. So you can have a little peeky poo. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking specifically for charcoal, incense, and herbs, and a small brass brazier.
Oh, that's all effortless to pick up. I
Yep,
think
I
the
figured.
brazier has a cost set for it. The rest, probably only be like a silver to pick up those things.
Well, I need 10 gold worth of all that stuff.
Hmm. So you're getting big, big sacks.
Big sacks.
Big sacks.
I'm too asexual for this shit. I just laugh at it.
You are one of the worst offenders of lewdness. When Doxy or Dean aren't on the show. When Doxy and Dean aren't on the show, there's a flow chart. Anyway. Yeah, that's literally stuff you can pick up on the way into the city.
That's what I was planning.
Shopping. Ending.
Uh,
Ended. What's next?
Well, do we just walk up to the leader of the nation and be like, "Hey, how are you?"
Well,
Kick open the door.
Which
I mean,
one?
if we're looking at, are we alerting Narashir as a whole, or are we aiming specifically for House Nor?
The plan before was just House Nor.
House Nor, yeah, and the Shogun of House Nor would not be in Narashiro. They would be in, or at least he wasn't when we last saw him.
Yes,
Using-
but you can reach some feelers out. You could ask, Rakaf's people.
I was going to suggest that any sort of meeting with House Nor as a whole would be best done by Rakath. If we're aiming for the Shogun specifically, then that might not be necessary because we as a party have already met him.
Yeah.
You weren't here, but we have met the Shogun.
Ashal
so-
has met this man.
Yes, Ashal has met him. Don't think Ashal ever.
Exactly. So it's perfect. You have
Okay,
kind of
well,
sort of technically met.
I think the Shogun's probably a safer bet, given Rakath was like, "Hey, if you go talk to House Nor, it'll be the last conversation you ever have." So, if you guys had a conversation with the Shogun and are still kicking, I think that's
Yeah, from what Rakaf told you, actually meeting with House Nor would mean meeting with not Voss Nor, the Shogun. It would be with the people who run the samurai house, and it's not in the city. But you can try and see if you can find a way to talk to the Shogun. Would you want to ask Rakaf's people if that can sort of be sorted out? Or do you want to kind of set feelers out in your own way, or what do you want to do? Like, beg a network? What's the plan here? Because you don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Rakath works for the government, so I feel like...
Yeah, Rakath's our best bet, I think.
It would definitely be a better way to get our foot in the door than just be strangers and be like, hey, I know you're a ruler of Narashiro, but you got 5 minutes to talk about Jesus?
We might be able to pull something off with the proof of diplomacy people from Ogshua, but it's easier to go via Rakath, I think.
Or we can just do both.
Well, yeah, we'll use that when we get there.
Luckily, no rolls necessary. When you go to Rakath's, the Royal Intelligence Ward, one, you are allowed in, without really any kind of issue. Two, you're like, we need to speak with the Shogun, and it would actually be another Ebamari who speaks with you. One who has a pretty fucking brutal, like, scar up their cranium that has been bolted back together with, like, a metal plate and metal staples. And they will tell you, after like a few moments of concentration, that considering whatever urgency this may have, it might be appropriate to seek Sir Nor at his dojo. It is in the herbalism district. I darest say that you won't miss it.
It's got neon lights.
If we can...
It was the two different parts that made that so much funnier.
Yeah, if you could broker that, then we would... If that would be more expedited, then I think we can do that.
Everybody thinks for a second and kind of laces their long fingers together. And will nod. I suppose I will travel with you as a continuation of Sir Rakath's will. To waste such time with etiquette and politeness would be inappropriate, would it not? I think you will find that despite being a samurai and shogun of the shitty city,
well, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. A shogun of the city, Vosnor does not care for the etiquette of most samurai. And they will just start drifting. They will just drift out of the main door and just start going, at a pace.
We're hot on their heels.
That just made me imagine that when they float, they're just like Superman posing instead of like just standing. I don't know why. No, yeah. Well, it's in your head now. The Herbalism District of Narashiro is near the Noble District because it's seen as a very, very respected pastime. It is, when you first enter it, it's like on the wall of the city. It's like this arcing street that goes downwards with like little herbalism shops and potion stalls and things. And then you get to a certain point where there is this large samurai dojo with a forecourt and a couple of small buildings and one, big dojo training building. It's completely fucking out of place. And almost all of it is either the color of the purple fungal wood it's built or black. And it's not hidden. You can see as you approach that there are like a dozen or so individuals training. Kind of doing like a martial arts routine kind of thing. Not with any weapons right now. All of them wearing kind of very light black leather equipment. the Ebomari would merely motion and would say that you'd best make your introductions yourself, and would motion to an individual who is in the middle of the forecourt. There is a big stone, like a stone from a quarry, you know, like 10 feet tall, 5 feet on either side, sitting on a wooden plinth, like carrier in the middle. And there is a single unassuming-looking individual in like a hakama kind of very casual garb, no armor or anything. Well kept, but not, you know, the full samurai armor. Who is just kneeling in front of it right now, with their hand on like the sword hilt at their side.
It's the man we want.
Charles nods again, still not speaking, and we'll begin to make our way over.
I turn to the other Ebomari and I was like, is now a good time to you know, just get on in there and...
I would probably wait until after he is done showing off to his students.
It's either going to be a headbutt or he's going to bamboo slice that thing upwards. I want it to be a headbutt.
All right, well, here's what we'll do, Ashal. We'll make eye contact with the man and hang out in the wings.
Fine.
Cool.
We do that.
Yeah, you like walk into the dojo, like kind of or into the forecourt, probably on like the steps of the dojo itself, like very so like you can see you. And Voss gives you a look. For a moment, you might not even think this is the man you're looking for, Bogdan, because he looks very unassuming. The only thing that's weird about him, which you can't really tell because he's kneeling, is that he's tall. He's a tall and broad-shouldered usurper elf. Quite similar to proportion to the Daimau's bodyguard that you saw. Very similar man. No distinguishing facial features other than slight scars and scratches, but none, again, enough to really, like, define the face. And the silver hair is just kept up in a neat top knot. Red eyes look at you for a moment, and there is no change in expression. But he shifts the stance on the sword at his hip ever so slightly. The student's turn to look, and he is going to just swing, like move swiftly, like kind of just move like 5 feet in one motion of his feet, swing. There is a buzzing sound and a loud hum and a flash of red through the air. And there's like one swing and then multiple smaller ones. The katana, the odachi, two-handed katana in his hands is buzzing with crackling red energy. And it doesn't look like a katana you would have seen. There's this fairly boxy components, like where there would be a cross guard on like a regular sword. Obviously, a couple of moments after he is done and resheaths the sword, the stone, the like granite block in front just crumbles.
And it becomes with the woman's face. Who's he?
Oh no, it's just fucking debris. He's not that romantic.
Well, Bogdan will bottle in his feelings about this waste of perfectly good stone.
Right?
It's
he
not
will.
wasted. It's going to go into their Japanese stone garden and raked.
But it's going to be donated to the needy.
Actually, yeah, that's very likely that it'll like join the Zen garden.
Well,
do you have something you want to do? He will dismiss the. Well, actually, he will turn to the students, and he will give them a very simple order in Elvish to keep training, and there would be like a specific, you know, like you are doing the hummingbird regimen or something, right? And then he would turn neatly to you. Despite being said that he isn't someone who does etiquette, it's, not a single motion is out of line. He would not look out of place on a royal court as the Shogun, but he does look kind of out of place out of his armor. Because you have met him in his armor before as Charles. Very different, intimidating visage. And now he just kind of looks like a normal, if not bulky-looking elf. He gives a slight, up nod, and will say quite simply, I was told to perhaps expect a visit at some point. So are things that dire?
Resisting the urge to plug my show. Yes.
Are you in a dire role?
My colleague and I have uncovered troubling news that we believe would interest you.
And that we hope for aid in resolving. It would benefit both us and Narashiro as a whole.
And perhaps the whole of the Alliance.
And quite probably the whole of the Underrealm.
Quite serious then. He'll just kind of make a motion and lead you into the dojo and then into an upstairs space where he'll close one of the kind of paper folding doors. And he will kneel. He'll put the sword down on a plinth. This is a very active training yard, apparently. Holy shit, they're fucking going for it.
Yeah, man. Hummingbird stands don't fuck around.
Yeah.
I heard a closing door, and I was like,
yeah, who knows? And he will take a breath. He'll put the sword down, take a breath, kneel, and he will then state that this room has been sealed from any whispers escaping it. Nor can any of your kind speak through its barriers. He says, motioning to Ashal. So if you do have... Well, clearly you have something you don't want the entire city knowing about. Speak.
Bogdan will take a moment to make sure Ashal doesn't want to key up. And if Ashal's quiet, then Bogdan will go ahead and resume.
Ashal is here for color commentary.
Beautiful. Well, we have found some conflicting ideologies within the chosen of Ivris. And we believe, with great certainty actually, that the one called the Mad Priestess is attempting to, in some eldritch capacity, resurrect the former daimyo to wage war.
And not a... The Mad Priestess and the former daimyo do not wish to conquer the surface. They wish to burn it, crush it, and in doing so, they do not care what happens to the Underrealm. They would gladly see it thrown on the fire to achieve their goals.
not only that, but the methods by which they plan to enact their plan are not, well, Ashal, my companion here, could probably tell you better.
The sacrifice of thousands of souls. It is
Allied souls.
perhaps not souls of great import to you personally or to Narashiro, but innocent souls nonetheless, and ones that your friend Rakath, we know, would rather see safe.
He had like no change in expression other than a slight wrinkling of his brow about halfway through when you started talking, but there is a smile when you say Rakath's name. And he will stand, and standing probably makes you be quiet for a moment, and he will just actually extend a hand like over the little table with the sword over to Bogdan, like, I don't believe we've actually met.
Ooh, Bogdan, does he want to give him a pseudonym, or, he doesn't want to complicate things.
Blink a coin.
I guess he'll just be like, I am Bogdan. And then he'll take the hand and Bogdan Alabaster Fifth.
I have tussled with the Mad Priestess before. She slunk away then. And this is what she's been doing for all this time. That's interesting.
Now, I have fought in small skirmishes for decades now. And if ever there was a moment that your enemy were cornered, it would be now. She has no intentions of leaving her sanctum, and we know its exact location. And we have seen a significant amount of its layout, both above ground and below.
He will walk to a small window. It's at the glass of the window where you can see just the kind of like fuzzy symbols of enchantment around the room. It's like they almost condense on the glass. And the window looks out over kind of the entryway to Narashiro, where you can see like merchants bustling around and people, children playing and stuff like that. Outside of the view of their parents' towers and stuff like that. And he puts his hands behind his back, and there's an elvish pause, for a good couple of minutes as he thinks. I have no love or hate for the previous Daimao or the Mad Priestess. But I have promised to mine and my own. But the surface and our destiny is to be reclaimed, not burned. It is clear that the Mad Priestess is not exactly in a state to negotiate clean and efficient warfare. And I do have to give you both my respect for the work that you have already done. You've done very well. Now, I would adore to say that she cannot be reasoned with and has to be cut down. I would relish the chance to fight her again, with us both stronger. But my wife would be severely displeased with that assessment. He'll turn and say, everyone can be saved and everyone can be negotiated with. We've long since been curious about what exactly... why the Mad Priestess is the Mad Priestess. Now, it sounds to me that this plan she has is not ready to enter any stage of fruition, which means we have an opportunity, but we will only have one. And it might be prudent not to kill her, And I am not suggesting reasoning with her either. I am thinking of... And he'll like, properly smile. Kind of making little dimples in his cheeks as he does. I'm thinking to change her mind.
My liege, this entity, the Mad Priestess,
Yes.
negotiation is not even something I believe she could comprehend. But if you wish to apprehend her, that works to our... I mean, we're... Charles? Yeah.
Apprehension. Well, I suppose it gets us out of our current binds. Quite frankly, I had hoped to...
Bogdan would be like, giving Charles like the, yo, this is the leader of a nation.
Ashar ain't giving no
Ashar doesn't carry a single shit.
Ashar was... Quite frankly, I had been intending to entrap her soul upon her death, but...
That may still be an opportunity. You and my wife have something quite in common, it seems. But my wife has not just studied the soul, she has studied the mind as well.
She studied the blade.
She has studied the 9mm Beretta. She has invented a kind of incense that smoke sends someone into a deep slumber, a slumber that can be walked within as if it were a realm as real as the one we are in now.
Whatever you intend to do with the information we have provided, and we shall help you in whatever endeavor. My colleague and I must stress that removing the Mad Priestess from her sanctum is of the highest priority.
We can flush her out.
And I will warn you, I do not know what stage her plan is at. You hypothesized we have time. I do not know. She may be able to activate this quickly. It may merely be our previous attempts at diplomacy with her that currently stay her hand. She waits for us. That is the only guarantee I have.
We have opportunity, but we do only have one shot. And if it comes down to it, I will remove her head from her body. And perhaps whatever use she has can still be sought out there. But I am not the grandest at explaining this. I am not the grandest at understanding it. But the blue smoke of the incense will send her into a slumber, and then you can enter her mind. If she is mad, there is a reason for it. There is no such thing as abstract madness. There is an event, there is trauma, there is illness, there is a lesion. And at the very least, she can be understood. At the best, she can be cured. Now, I am willing to assume that your comrade, Oshun, would not want the blade to be the first option.
That is exactly why we are in this mess.
Wrong button. And also why we did not bring her to this meeting.
I'm not here, damn it. I can't be like, excuse
And then the
me.
doors throw open.
He nods and looks away. I believe it likely worth a shot. But I will keep the blade close. What I will need to do is flush her into an enclosed space where the smoke can take her and anyone that will be exploring her dreams. Now, I will not be going into that place. It's not exactly... It doesn't exactly work well with me. But I would recommend you do so.
Well, if that is your desire, then we should definitely secure Oshun prior to the smoke. She will be needed if that plan is to have any chance of success.
We will enter her lair in one swift stroke with me and my reclaimers.
There is the small matter of her wards. A host of 2,000 plus spiderlings that we had promised to relocate.
I know of this. Are they combatants?
Not as such, though they are quite zealous in their current following of the queen. I mean, the priestess. That was a Jacob mistake.
A mistake.
A mistake.
We will remove some limbs.
My branded.
Knock some heads. Kill as few as we can. We are here for the priestess. Or we will be there for the priestess. My soldiers are loyal to the last drop of their blood. And should be well equipped to assist in this. I will not need to take many of them with us, and we can travel with haste.
We may... I do not know the details that the priestess intends, but I may be able to convince her into the asylum itself. That would serve as a closed room, and would result in the least requirement to bash heads in.
Agreed. Though you will all need to be in that chamber with her while the smoke enters it.
I believe that can be achieved. She has reason to believe that Ocean can serve as a substitute for the Spiderkin. If we pursue that angle, it may well be far easier than to drive her into the place by force.
Of course. I can always lay in wait for a moment and allow you to attempt diplomacy. So we have a plan. We will head with the utmost haste to this asylum. We will take her to an enclosed space. You will attempt to enter her mind and see if she can be cured or reasoned with from within. If not, then she will be removed.
If this is the plan, your warriors should be prepared to fight creatures of the umbral. The asylum is a conduit, and we do not know what powers she has wrestled from its arcanum.
He nods with a slight smile, like looking downward, and like, my soldiers are more than comfortable with the darkness. This will pose no threat to them. Well then, we should probably start to get going. He will pick up his sword and start walking out and be like, me and my men will meet you at the shrine outside the city. And then we will travel. And then we will dethrone this mad priestess, one way or another. Through reason or through might.
We're at your service, Shogun.
He does
look at Pumpkin.
he does smile slightly. He's like, in this action, I am not the Shogun. I am an ally in your time of need. If this were official, Who knows how many rules we'd have to follow. And he will unslide the door. He does like a hand swish. He doesn't touch it. He just Jedi's the door open and will walk out. It is. It's
Dabs
a drop
the door
the
open.
mic dab situation. And he will head out. Yeah, with a plan assorted.
Like on the way out of Narashiro towards the shrine, Azshal will extend telepathy to Bogdan, and like there's a sense of like resignation and sort of what did I expect sort of feeling, but and the words will convey. You notice that he wished to save the mad priestess as possible, if possible, but was not averse to cutting off a few limbs, bashing in a few heads of the small spiderkin.
I'm not sure what we can do to mitigate.
Oh no, I am in no way proposing that we mitigate that. I do not believe we can. My point being, it is always the small folk that get crushed in these dances of gods and powerful figures. Quite frankly, I would rather see the mad priestess's head cut off. But
Were it up to us, that would be the outcome and the goal. But we have to play with the cards we're dealt, Ashal. And once we're inside that mad woman's head, we can make our own arrangements as needed.
I hope there is truly some benefit to this.
Well, if you succeed, that is its own benefit.
Okay, cool. I think this is a great place for us to take a little breaky brew.
Oh.
Yes! We'll be back in a sec. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for the exciting part 2. Hello.
Nearly choked my water.
I have that effect on people. Wanting to choke and die.
You just nearly made me choke and die.
2 for 2, baby! Ocean!
Yes.
As 1 day turns to 2 days, the Mad Priestess hasn't seemed to take any interest in you. Is the plan still the same? She's doing something. She's not bothering with the Spiderkin camp.
I know what she's doing, or I suspect I know.
Oh, do you?
I have a
If
strong
you
suspicion.
do, very good lore, Ian. If you know.
Well, if it's law, then Ian will.
No,
Ian
I
will
don't.
know.
I don't think
I might
Ian
not
knows.
know.
I don't
I
think
might.
Ian knows.
It's so hard because I desperately want to do the communion, but like the thing with the Mad Priestess is you can't say anything or do anything with her because she'll just say no, or she'll be like, I'm just going to push what I want, and I'm like, God
The
damn it,
funny thing
can't you do
is,
what I want?
if you were doing this outside in the forest, she might have had more chance to like actually see you because she's outside on the walls right now. Whereas now you actually aren't near her.
Outside.
She's
You're
outside on the outside of the walls doing
Paige
something.
was like on top of.
Yeah. She is
building.
outside. So remember that the asylum is a sunken building. So the stage is the highest part of the roof, like a story above the rest of it, where the camp is. She is on the outside of that, on the walls, doing something. So she can't see you. She's not come back up for like 2 days.
Bitch.
Right? So like your plan might have worked. Because it's quite smart, you're not saying or doing anything, you just kind of laid it all out. But she's not seen it.
This is very annoying. This is very annoying. I thought that's where she liked to hang out.
It usually is.
God damn it.
Your plan was great.
Your
It's
plan
just
was
that she's
great.
being weird.
She's got something else going on. Who knows what it is? Me.
But I can't leave my neutrality. I'm just.
Sweden.
Can I see her from where I am, or like? Where
Not
she's
well,
around?
you would have to, go looking for her. From like your like resting trance position, you can't see her. But if you walk, if you presumably walk to the edge of the wall where she probably is, because you can feel the tap tap tap, you'd be able to see her off the side probably.
I guess that.
I guess.
Maybe Oshun can have a break and just sort of walk around. Now I'm thinking like maybe she should try and find that old spiderkin and like tell her to get the fuck out of Dodge. So I think Oshun will take a break and like get up and stretch her legs. All of them. And eye the priestess and then try and find the older spiderkin. But
So you want to check the priestess first?
line? Yeah, just sort of she's just taking a walk.
Yeah.
There's like time right now. Things aren't urgent, so
Yeah. When you look over the edge of the wall, the Mad Priestess in her, massive spiky Drider form is kind of on the ground, like on the stone ground, clawing away at the wall with her forelegs. Very intently focusing on it. Like her major hand is like up and there's like a little ring of like umbral symbols in it. And you can see one of her sets of jaws like moving. One of her many eyes does kind of like to see you, and then back to what she's doing. And this is not where she started doing this, and you can kind of look, and like you're looking at it from above, but she's been doing this. She's almost done with the whole like this plane of the building. She's scratching something into the walls. Ocean's mad.
Ocean's mad because this is like, oh, God, I hate.
Did you? Is the mad priestess acting erratically?
Yeah, but she's like the most annoying family member. Like, just like, can't Sharon? We agreed that we were going to watch the movie as a family.
Get off your phone!
Why are you trying to make smoothies now? And like, she's just like, I just watched this video that was really great. About
No, she would be the family member who's demanding you watch the movie, but it's like a weird indie film. She's that one.
No, that's me.
Two diametrically opposed movies.
Well, we've established this.
You're trying to make the family watch like some woman love woman like indie film from the Nordic countries, and she wants to watch some weird indie horror, body horror thing, and it doesn't meet in the middle.
I'm not sure I describe that as.
I don't think that's a lesbian love movie, but maybe, I don't know.
I don't think either of us are lesbian love movies.
She wants to watch Shin Godzilla, and damned if anyone will get in the way.
Well,
You gonna talk to her or just like watch her for a bit and then leave?
she's going to watch her, and she's going to think about whether she can get away to like. I guess she can circle. She's going to climb down and like circle the town and do priestess things, care for the sick, hear people's thoughts or counsel, and as she's moving her way through, she'll try and find the elderly spiderkin.
Noticeably, you know, and this was noticeable last time, but you've been here for the longest period of time you have for a while. You know, you described the spiderkin in the camp as being kind of like under a malaise before, but now that they seem to be living their lives relatively normally, so you going around as a priestess is, you know, you actually get some degree of interaction. Not a lot. They're still spiderkin. They're still not inherently very social creatures, but yeah, it goes quite well.
Their neighbor almost stole their mate, but they managed to like drum well enough.
Yeah, the problems of being a spider person, they go for 18 sessions at least. You can meet up with the elderly spiderkin. They are, as an elder, kind of preparing herbs and things like that over a fire, roasting them down into a powder.
She's going to say, I'm not actually going to be this shitty, but just like, peace be upon you. And just sort
peace?
of like, begin like the, not deception, but the front of a holy council. Like, hello,
Right.
sister.
Yeah, she's appreciative and will like talk to you but in a very old lady way. She'll talk to you while she's doing stuff. And if the stuff is more important than you, she will be doing the stuff for a bit. But yeah, she'll be fine with you kind of being around.
She will like glance around and like lean in and say, events are coming to pass. You must be ready for yourself and your people to move out as soon as danger will arrive. I can't say exactly what the outcome will be. However, there is a safe place for you. What is the name of Rakath's fort? Is that the name of his house?
He works in the Royal Intelligence Ward, but this little sanctum is like underground. It doesn't really have a name. I've been kind of calling it like Rakath's Garden in like my notes. But it doesn't have a name. I imagine he'd kind of let them choose a name if they wanted.
I cannot say where precisely this place that my friends and allies have found, but should we not be able to take you there ourselves, seek Rakath.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah.
I will say that her mandibles and some of the spines on the Spiderkin Elder will, like, in interest.
Persuasion with advantage.
Yes!
Yes. Laptop, don't fail me now.
Laptop,
Okay.
don't fail me now.
Okay.
Will it be a 1? Will it be a 20? Will it be a number in between those?
It could be both.
21! It was beyond. Blackjack!
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't get to unmute in time. I was gonna say that. Dang it.
I'll always play blackjack. There's a game we're streaming and it has gambling in it. I'm going off the rails. She will pick up her cane and lean on it with both hands and look at you with both sets of her eyes. We will prepare to move en masse when the moment is right.
Excellent,
Yes.
sister. And then she'll finish up. If the old Spiderkin wants a prayer of blessing or anything else that Oshun can provide,
She'll get you doing like chores. She'll be like, okay, now send this to her over there. Like,
Oshun wants to very much, but she's going to begin to return to her post. She very much wants to ask the priestess what she's doing, but like,
but will you?
I want to, but I guess I can't stick too closely to plans you have in your head. And
Story of every session for me.
Yeah. If you're not on plan C, what are you doing?
Oh, I've gone through plans A, B, C. I'm on about plan N right now. And that's generous.
Just keep tracking.
And N stands for no plan, by the way.
It's
On
like
plan
how-
W for wing it.
It's like
Yeah,
how in
exactly.
like in grading, like it's theoretically possible to get like a U in a test. It's like
Yeah.
you just can.
Oshun will like unobtrusively loiter and just say, "What are you doing?"
From above.
Is
She
Fine,
you are atop the walls at the stage. She is on the floor. Like 2 stories down. Doing something.
and all the camps for the spider.
And the camps are so
on the
stage
roof.
camps. She's
Camps.
like over here.
She's
right
over
now.
there. Perfect. So she's far away.
She
from
is
the-
far away from the Spiderkin, yeah.
Move
Yeah.
out.
The entire like entry stairwell to the asylum that you've been through is between them and her.
Okay. She's going to. Yeah. Go beneath her. I'm just gonna say that she'll be beneath her because she can like scuttle all over the walls and like take a look at the markings that she's putting in and stuff. And
They are explicit, very deliberate symbols that you don't recognize. but they are, you know, swooping, shifting things that she is carving into the walls with her front claws, to the extent that her front claws have started to like splinter and not bleed but pus. And at this point she's done the entire one side, and she's now like shifting around the corner, which will probably be when she notices you, and she will kind of like bring up her hands in a moment, and then will kind of like mutter to herself and keep going and start on the next carving.
She will like, Ocean will address the priestess directly after like investigating these things and like looking her over and stuff, and just sort of inquire as to how she's getting on.
Oh, Ocean. I have never been in as clear as mind within my memory as I am upon these days. Plan is moving. And soon we'll all be moving.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
How interesting. It can often be found that repetitive tasks can bring about some sort of clarity of mind or meditative state, don't you find? I like knitting.
Of course. Whipping the heretical was always a very calming experience when I was still on two legs.
Would you care for some treatment before you carry on? I can administer some healing to your hands before you go about your business again.
She'll raise up her like front claws to realize that she has hurt herself, right? She probably didn't realize before. And similar to how the spiderkin was like, little elements of her twisted eldritch form will deflate slightly in that like, oh, I hurt myself. I haven't realized. And she will kind of look to you with probably the most, forgive my term, human look she's given you for a while. At least her main eyes. Please.
Wonderful. And I guess they can sit at the edge of the stage, like not far away. It's like within sight of the communion circle, but not with enough pressure to like drag her over or something. And they'll sort of sit on the edge of this thing that can like overlook everything.
Of course.
And she'll begin to administer what have I got? I've got like healing word or whatever priestly things that
You gotta have something.
okay. I wasn't sure if in combat you use, because out of combat I mean.
They're the same. The only one which is an out of combat spell is Prayer of Healing, because it has a 10-minute cast time.
Ah.
As in, if you are casting that in combat, it takes 60 turns.
How many?
A turn is 6 seconds. So you
That's
can't do the
insane.
minute one. Or the 10 minutes one. It's either a minute or 10. It basically it's too long for you to really do in the middle of a combat. So you might have that one. But I don't know what spells you have prepared, because I looked earlier and now I've forgotten. Hopefully you have a healing spell. Do you not have a healing spell?
I'm
It's because it's got a level. It's got a level thing.
Oh, the level. Okay. There we go.
It's only at level 2.
It's only at level 2.
Well, I mean, you could do it at level 3.
Cool. Prayer of Healing, that's quite fitting because it explains, you know, you got to get up and actually, you know, cast a literal, you know, prayer to the goddess to do this. It will recover the splintered layers of chitin on the end of her scythe-like front claws. And she reacts, you know, with appreciative micro gestures, but doesn't say anything. And she will, when you are done, just start, like, just push up on her further back legs to go to leave. Continue her work. Starting to fidget.
One moment, sister.
What was that?
Have you? I said, one moment, sister. Have you given any further thought to, what we spoke of before?
Before, I have been putting such a high amount of thought into all of my actions based on you and your friends' words and thoughts. What query individually do you have?
Would you come and commune with me? With Ivrith.
Commune. She looks, and then she realizes that's what the ritual circle over there is. And she looks at it as if terrified. Kind of rearing up. No, thank you. I don't think such a thing would be necessary to speak with our goddess again. I've already seen her and her realm and her wills through enough. I'm sure she would only have the gladdest tidings to say to me. No, I will not. I could not again.
I was wondering, is that not the rites one performs to make one a godparent of a child?
I know what's coming now.
Deception check.
That's what's coming now.
Deception check?
Yeah, it's a deception.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
How is it deception?
You are trying to do the commune spell to speak a specific ritual laid out by Cinnabelle to visit your goddess.
Yes.
You are trying to convince her that it is part of a different ritual. This would be like be like during a baptism you momentarily flit to heaven and high five Jesus. That's what you're convinced as part of the baptism ritual.
Well, the thing is, even if the ritual is the same, you are effectively being deceptive in that
you are trying to get her to do something she doesn't want to do.
You're not trying to make her a godparent with the ritual, even if that is the actual.
The godparent ritual would be if you want to use you would use the ceremony spell which you have to do something like that, and this could be part of it that you want to make involved. This
guys, give her a break. She's got pregnancy brain.
No, I still want to bring her to Ivrith.
Yeah, for sure. So it is a deception check.
Is it not a persuasion?
No, because you are lying to her. You are trying to deceive.
This is much worse. This is
yeah.
much worse. Oh! Okay, I'm just gonna let the dice roll.
It's a good roll. She kind of shifts the mechanisms that make her, the biomechanisms within her massive form hiss as she shifts from one side to the other like a creaking ship. And she just
creaking ship, but all I see are those crab gifs.
Yeah, but if that crab were the size of a small van, you would hear it.
So that's what Irie is summoning next time.
She does not immediately run away nor claw you apart, but she does just sort of repeat, No, I understand that you care deeply for the youngest form of life and might have many intents upon them, but I will not be communing with the usurper queen today. I will surely hear her whispers when the time is right, and the time is my time to do my plan, my new plan. I forged it myself, and the seconds are now ticking away, each moment closer to the inevitable. So I must continue. I don't have the time.
She spoke so highly of you when I communed with her. This is why I was told that you were the choice. That you would be the best person to be the spiritual tutor of Ivrith's child on Earth.
I'll allow this one to be a persuasion check, because that's close enough to the truth to allow it. Because that stuff did kind of happen. Aww, is garbage. She will look down to Ocean's pregnant belly. Ivrith's child, child of the goddess. Yes. Yeah. I must continue my work, sister. Every moment I draw away from it, my success dwindles like a flame in a vacuum.
Well,
And she will just start scuttling
I'll
down the
check
wall.
in again with you next tea time. And she'll go sit on the communion circle.
Awesome. Spoop. Ashal and Bogdan, you get over to the shrine. You have like your beetle. When you were there, you notice, you see a dozen reclaimer soldiers. They wear black leather and dark steel. They carry katanas and crossbows. They are all usurper elms. They are 2 each, riding giant black tarantulas that will travel much faster than a server beetle, like yours. Vosnor is there in his full Shogun samurai regalia. Full samurai armor made completely of dark steel. The armor itself has only slight embellishments aside from the helmet, which is of the face of a dark dragon holding these canisters in its mouth in like the breathing apparatus. The eyes glow red. There's no chance to see the eyes of the usurper elf behind, and there are these basically dreadlocks of shadow that just kind of float in the air behind him, kind of shifting and moving. He has the katana. He also has, in the other hand, a blue, slightly curved container, which you can see is filled with incense. And he will look to you, and he will give a solid nod. And as he speaks through the helmet, and he will look to the distance and will say, "If we are to make war with this mad priestess, then we must travel fast and we must travel far. I will need you to lead the way for us."
Dang, if only we had a map. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, well, let's hop to it.
He nods, and you start heading out.
Climbing.
Yeah. Like get on the elephant beetle.
Yeah. On the way, I'm going to take 70 minutes out, because, the beetle just goes, right?
Yeah. Well,
And I wanna
at this
cast-
point it does. It's meant to have someone telling it to do things, but it's done this route so many times. Just give it a smack.
I want
in
to
it.
ritual. Yeah. I want to ritual cast yield wall of text. Find familiar, and I want it to be a bat.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
What is his name?
Batty.
This is Bogdan's familiar, so he's called Familiar.
I knew it! I knew it! Is it just a regular bat, or is there anything,
Oh well, I get to decide if it's
appearance,
Fey,
it's type,
Celestial.
anything you fancy, really.
Well, I need to inquire to you a bit about the voice in the wall.
I would say, with you especially, it would be celestial. It would be a celestial thing.
I think it looks like a bat when it's in motion, but when it's like hovering, or if you can really get an eye on it, it's kind of translucent.
Cool. You new friend acquired. You head
10 gold to get a friend.
That's how it works. That's just how Mafia works. You guys rush to the Fanged Asylum. All the while, the Mad Priestess continues her work. Do you want to try and chat with her again the next day, Ocean? You don't know how far out those guys are, but they're getting close. She is, at this point, halfway down the flank wall, like the left flank wall of the building, right flank, with her symbols.
Good morning.
She, like a sitcom, will just kind of like look at you and then keep on doing what she's doing.
Canned laughter.
Yeah, I'd probably have that on here. I'm not gonna do it. But she does, after a moment, probably just before you speak again, she does actually look back to you and say, "Is the child well?"
Would you like to feel it kick? It started just a few months ago.
It can kick. It has a will to fight?
Yes, you could call it that, especially with the state of my internal organs.
How repulsive.
I know, isn't it wonderful? It really is the most wonderful parasite when you think about it.
Yeah!
In what you eat, what you drink, when you eat and drink, your body changes much like the caves during the ascension.
You ascended in a cave. I ascended in a palace.
Did you? When was that?
Oh. How long have I been gone for? Everything before it is gone to me. And everything since is, blur. A river coursing through many rocks. 2 centuries at least, I would say. I believe.
Wow. That is an expanse of time.
Yes. If I were not ascended, I would likely be shuffled away to the ziggurat to live out my last days. In madness. But I am.
You have a gift from Mother Ifrith.
Yes. A gift which will bring retribution.
Oh! Oh, come now!
Persuasion check.
Oh. Everyone wants to put their hands on wet pregnant people's stomachs. It's like...
No, not everyone. Not everyone, Zoe. Not everyone.
Fair enough. I was referring to the unwanted strangers, but that is also a good point.
That's
Not
also...
everyone.
Yes, I'm sure.
Persuasion. Ooh.
She will look at the carvings she is making on the wall, put down her foreclaws that were doing it, and will scuttle up the wall and will very tentatively like, careful not to have, like, her clawed fingertips, like, they're, like, peeled back a little. We'll put her hand, like...
Oshun will, like, wait for her to be in a comfortable place and put both hands on top of hers. Wait.
It is moving. It wants to kill me.
I'm sorry. That is really great. No. I'm pretty sure that is that. No, that
It wants
one
to eat me.
That one is dreaming. Sometimes it likes to. It feels like it's trying to get comfortable, and I really don't understand what could be so uncomfortable about my very soft insides. But no, this
sure
one.
they are very soft and velvety. You didn't think she was gonna be weird about that? You didn't think she was gonna be weird about that? She's gonna be weird about that.
Eyes were taken. That's why I laughed.
You can never meet eye when you're doing like an on-video D&D game, especially on a stream. You cannot meet eyes with someone else while you are in a scene. It is a danger. It is a death sentence.
You know, I do hate to bring it up again, but when I spoke with Mother Ivrith just the other day, she really did express such pride of you that you have ascended and you are a true daughter of Ivrith. She knows how hard the struggle can be to reach ascension and the transformations that must take place. Will you not commune with me?
You can give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
You can give me a fat lot of nothing.
The problem with all these persuasion checks is it's impossible for her to roll a 5.
Well, kinda. Clip that. The face you made would make a great emote.
Oh, someone
5
screen
gang.
cap it and send it to me, and I'll make it an emote.
Crushing disappointment.
She shakes her head, but like not as frantically as before, and she will lower herself with a crack of her spine to your eye level. Are you wearing the mask right now? Or your veil? Yeah, I didn't think you have been recently. I will not be doing so. And I would politely request that you do not ask me. What I saw of our goddess's realm was enough for me when I was a mortal. I might be mad, but I know the moment I was broken, and the mind of a mortal is not meant to comprehend that. You must have a stronger brain within that thin skull to handle it and willingly return over and over and have brief chit-chats with our goddess over tea and crumpets. But I fear what might happen to me if I do so again, that I either will never return or will never leave. The answer is and will for always be no. She's gonna and will
Ocean's
scuttle
thinking about
away.
that glimpse of like the hellscape before like it was made presentable. She is going to give it a little bit more time. She will either try again that night or the next day.
Yeah. Okay. It is that night when you notice her actually clambering back up to the stage quite frantically, moving at a fairly quick pace. You know, not making care to not use her strength and ruin the ground, right? Because her legs just go like pull up chunks of rock when she just isn't paying attention. She's moving at a real serious pace to the very center of the stage. Again, a point that doesn't like exist, but clearly she knows where she's meant to stand. And she will. I imagine Oshun is like meditating.
Well, she's gonna stand up at this point, like still in the communion circle, but she's stood up, and Oshun's just going to look at her and say, "What is it? What's happening? Is it time?"
What do your elf eyes see?
What do your spider eyes see, sister?
Yo, how come she doesn't have that voice?
Soldiers sprint from the west, from the city. I would have thought I would have had more time. But no matter. They won't be able to reach us. She flexes her hands out, down, and you notice a light around the edge of the building. Bogdan and Ashal, you are close enough to see the asylum a ways away with your group of soldiers. And on the battered walls that are overgrown with roots, flickering, sparking purple symbols will spark into life.
Oshun's gonna commune. She's getting out of there.
It takes an hour.
But everything's set up.
It takes an hour to do the thing. That's the downside of this versus you having it as a real spell. So like, you can, but danger. Because you basically, this as a magic item is an hour to cast Commune rather than I think it's a minute. If you actually do have the 5th level spell. So it means when you get 5th level, this, you know, your actual communes will be better.
Okay, so she's
Or
going
5th
to
level
say,
spells.
"Wait, I'm not going to request that you relive what you went through, but I do want to ask Ivrith what happened and why she would possibly do that to you. May I please speak to our goddess before this?"
She looks down at you. Small pebbles and the chunks of rock that she had dethroned from the rooftop start to float ever so slightly off the ground. You may do as you will as long as you do not leave my web, sister. I have need of you close, but we will have time. Their petty little attempts to enter my sanctum, they would have gotten away with it if I hadn't changed the plan and made it my own. Bogdan Ashal, the asylum is starting to dislodge from the ground, shifting awkwardly a foot or so up at a time. Not all on one plane. She didn't finish the circle. It crunches up at an angle, shifting and breaking the stone around. The asylum goes deeper than the stone. It's almost like an upside down ziggurat, and it is starting to lift. Slowly at the first.
Oshun's communing. She's got all her legs out. Just
Bogdan will like rush over to the edge of the beetle and be like, "Shogun Voss, do you have any casters among your company?"
Shit.
While I could toss you up there, ropes and grappling will do far grander. And he sends
What
out
about the
an
shield?
order. he looks at it again and is like, hopefully there isn't a shield.
Oh, I thought you described a...
No, it's like symbols around the walls.
Okay, I'm
lifting.
done. That's cool. Yeah.
He will send an order to his men who will start preparing. They're ready. They got grappling hooks and ropes. It does mean that this plan will rely upon Ian making an athletics check to climb a rope, unless you have another scheme. But
Wait, how high can he float though?
Can't he
5
hold
feet,
the
4
rope
feet.
upwards?
I can float. 4
That is
feet
an
up.
option. They could, but either then you have to pull up, right? You could go, yeah. As they get closer, the asylum has gotten high enough up that they need to, and they will like throw all these grapple lines onto the very edge, up on the top on the surface. Oh, Shun, it probably takes a little bit of time for you to realize. Wait, are you communing?
I'm communing.
You're dead to the world. You can notice the G's change as the place is floating upwards slowly, and you can hear the commotion of Spiderkin. And
I think
panic.
just say the last thing. Wait for me, and then just go into the state.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
For sure she's gonna wait for
yeah, she's definitely gonna wait. No, she's definitely not got some other side hoe she's gonna call up the second you're gone. The sanctum continues floating, and you fall. As the building around you goes downward, goes upward, you are sent tumbling downward at great speed into the halls of Arachna, if not physically, at least astrally. You will land within that place, and you feel the presence of Idrith all around you before it materializes into one
She's going to say,
definite shape.
no, don't change anything. What happened to the priestess? What is her name?
She was not ready for the ritual mentally. Her mind broke apart into uncountable shards. Impossible to fit back together. Her name? Do you really want to know her name?
Yes. Let me type it in a program. Her name's Tracy. Tracy Priestess.
She strikes me more of a Dolores, really.
The echo is out of control. We've lost Ollie to the soundboard.
There was never Ollie. It was always soundboard.
Before she became the Mad Priestess, and Lithura sent her name into shreds, she was named Domina.
Is that with 2 M's?
I'm sure her name will be able to bring her to reason. She says, as you realize you are being pulled back upwards, as if on basically a bungee rope. You only had a little bit of time at the bottom, you feel your stomach churning, and then you are being whisked back up on the web.
She wasn't finished, but she's like... She's back in, gonna take
You are
stock of
back.
this.
The asylum is flying, the Spiderkin are panicked, but ready at the same time. The camp, Mad Priestess probably wouldn't notice, has been very rapidly, like, wrapped up and put into boxes and bags and things like that. And there's a swell of them near the exit of the lair, but it's, of course, a drop.
They're spiders. They can use webs, right?
Yeah, but they can't web... Oh, well.
Speciesist? You just assume?
Yeah. Ashal and Bogdan, ropes are ready. They will, like... They're holding it ready for you guys to enter first.
I want to hold my arm up like this, and then will my familiar, and be like, find Oshun.
Yeah.
And then I turn to my
On strength.
petite friend, and I say, "Are you up for this?"
Much as I will ever be.
Sorry, I just realized I made a joke.
That's in character.
That is in character.
Yeah. All right. Athletics checks, baby. Rope climbing.
Yep,
So-
because
yeah, so Bogdan-
my previous -2 athletics character had such a good record with ropes.
Bogdan
Yeah,
isn't
that's
actually
fine.
trained in athletics, but he is quite swole.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that.
Ashal gets a natural 20.
Okay. Man, this is gonna suck when I roll less than the freaking.
The sorcerer.
The roles are reversed.
As you each
Literally,
grab
yeah,
onto the rope, there is a whine from the beetle, from your beetle, as you are kind of whisked away, because it starts, clearly whatever was lodging the sanctum, the asylum, like, in the ground, like the rock, is now dislodged enough, because it's a ziggurat, right? So it gets, like, freer, and you are, like, you can hold on! You are being taken for a ride. As Charlotte, you can kind of use that momentum and the strength in your muscles and pull yourself up,
Oh, thin.
bulging with magic. Bogdan, right now, all you can do is hold on.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this moment.
If the camera is on like the beetle, you just hear shit.
Yeah,
Bogdan wasn't ready.
Bogdan was not ready for that. But as you are holding on, you do get like the telepathic message from your familiar that Oshun is up there, basically beside the Mad Priestess. The Mad Priestess is
sent a
controlling
telepathic
this.
message. Yeah, I sent a telepathic message just to stay with her.
Did we get the dream thing?
Yeah,
in
you've
any
got
way?
the dream instance. I imagine
Okay.
it's on Ashal.
Yes.
Oh, we have it.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah, good.
yeah. And you know, if anyone were looking down, now is when like the Reclaimers and Voss are starting to climb as well. But you know, you guys have the first motion. But they're playing it a little stealthier. Ashal, you climb all the way up. You can see Oshun. Because the walls and the stage are on like the same layer, right? So when you get to the top of the wall, it's very thin, but there's Oshun and then there's the Mad Priestess weaving a magic.
Ashal will sort of look back at Bogdan, but then will float over like resignedly towards the Mad Priestess, and like won't get too close. We'll get closer, but and we'll call out. So, there has been a change of plans, I see. Is the original still progressing alongside?
My friend. Yes. Once these interlopers have been dealt with, I'm sure we'll be more than ready. Whichever souls are more convenient for us at the time would be appropriate, but I think it should be time to move swiftly. And she will, like, make a little sigil with her lower set of arms. and this amulet will, and she will like clasp it in both hands. It has a large black stone in the middle that just is seeping with darkness.
Oshun's just going to be like, what's happening?
As Charles will, at the Mad Priestess's reaction, will float up and will move alongside the Mad Priestess, almost in a like I'm on her side sort of thing.
Yeah, classic. Bogdan, I'll allow you another athletics roll at this point. Yeah.
Here we go.
Come on, Bogdan, you can do it. It's just a rope.
You know, the funny thing is, I so nearly twin spelled that enhanced ability. I decided against it. I figured, no, Bogdan's gonna get it. Bogdan will get it. I won't waste sorcery points when Bogdan can get this.
Yeah. A few, like, you get up a couple of feet and then slide back down to the end of the rope. Voss is a little bit lower below you and will, kind of call. It's like the rushing wind, right? We're like, I suppose we will be using the magic then.
Magic would do nicely.
Beard flapping in the wind.
Yeah! He will get up closer and he'll like have to like shift. And he will rear back a hand. Just dark flame will start enreathing through it. In fact, the actual dark steel of the armor will like mechanically like fold back like an Iron Man hand to just reveal his hand where he can cast a spell easier. And he will say, "Prepare for a rough landing." And he will just kind of like,
Wait.
you are just like thrown upwards.
Okay, I got one hand on the invisibility potion.
You are just like thrown upwards with dark magic, and you are just gonna like go up and then down. The spiderkin managed to see and like scuttle out of the way, but you are gonna hit the ground with like a thump. And thump is an understatement. And by ground I mean floor of the asylum, like the roof, but hey, it's not gonna be that bad. It's gonna be 8 bludgeoning damage.
Why are there so many comedy beats in this where they just look up?
I'm the comic relief.
Yeah, you need the comic relief. This is just the Jarviskjir universe is just a Marvel movie, and this is the comedy relief bit in the middle of the fight. This is the Stan Lee cameo.
I'm Bruce Banner before he goes Hulk.
Yeah. So, Ocean and Ashal. Ashal has kind of gone to the side of the Mad Priestess. She gives a smile, but she is clearly concentrating on lifting the building. That's like her focus right now. She's preparing for something after. You see Bogdan crumph into the camp.
Oshun's just again gonna be like, "What are you doing? What's happening?"
Ollie, what sort of height was the thing up to? Like, is it a long fall for someone, or is it
If you tumbled off the edge, it would be, at this point, probably not max fall damage, but not far from it. And that's clearly her intent, is to be floating in, like, the middle of the... Because she can't dig through the roof of the Underrealm with this. She'd have to turn it around and be like a little drill. But clearly, when it's in the air, it is harder to reach, right? And she can do what she wants without being bothered. So it's still going, probably like another couple of 20, like another 20 feet up or so before she's done.
As Charles will say to her, "I will deal with the interlopers before they reach our level."
Deception check.
And deception check. Oh dear. Go on.
Oh, you think I was gonna...
Ah!
She looks at you, and her like joyous, triumphant pose slumps.
Oh. you hurt her feelings.
Oh, I thought you were here to assist me. How wrong.
It was a necessary evil. And Ashal will pull out the map, the forgery of the map. Ashal will pull out the forgery of the map. A necessary evil to obtain this. And will just acid splash the map, just dissolve it.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Dust. Prove to me that you are loyal unto me by slaying those who climb my walls.
Of course. And Ashal will we're like
Lie down!
Ashal is going
Can I
to
hear
float.
this?
Yeah. She is not using her inside voice.
Okay. I'm gonna uncork the invisibility potion and then hold up my hand and be like, Ashal, no! Don't disintegrate me!
You're just leading into the comedy relief role, huh? That's either a deception or a performance check.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a performance if possible.
What will Ashal do?
Well, that depends on how convincing this is.
Don't worry, I got a +0. Wait, you said deception? That's
Deception
also a
or
+0.
performance.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Whichever's better
Performance.
for you.
We're doing it. 5 gang. I rolled. That's all I can roll tonight. That's all I can roll. That's all I can roll.
Ashal will just look at the mad priestess and go, he does not know.
Yeah, so that's 3 2s in a row. I just want everyone to know. If keep me track, I've rolled 2 3 times in a row.
Just get all of the bad
So yeah,
vibes
you
out.
go, don't disintegrate
Yeah, in the
me,
climax.
and
Thanks, Zoe.
stand there. And Ashal doesn't play along and just goes, what's with this guy?
Yeah, and
Look at this
Ashal
idiot.
Ashal is just going to float over to the like. How far away is the edge of the thing to where the priestess is?
Yeah, to like where the Voss's reclaimers are climbing
Yes.
up. I'd say like 120 feet.
Okay. And she is focusing more on the
Spell for now, but she is starting to prepare
okay.
the next spell she is casting. You can see her her front hands are casting Skyward Sanctum. Her lower hands are carving umbral sigils through the air around the dark amulet that contains Lithura's soul. So she's gonna go from one to the other.
Who saw what?
I am going to subtle spell cast message to Voss,
Right.
and I am going to say, this will be difficult. If you fall, can you survive? It is our current best option.
I have survived worse.
Ashal will just start like pulling the grapples off
Right.
so that they fall.
yeah, and it's kind of an awkward angle for you to see if they fall or not.
Check.
No. Roll a 1, bend over, pants rip. You can't see if they've fallen or not, but who knows, right? Either way, you're up there now, and they're up there, and
I mean, if they don't fall, all the better for me, to be
Yeah.
honest. No lose situation. And then I will return to the Mad Priestess's side and say, it is done. They were still trying to climb. It is impossible to follow us now.
Impossible.
do you want to do anything while this happens? While after that, Ocean, or are you just like still like?
Ocean's going to press Charles' hand for a moment and just be like, still like sizing up the situation.
As Shal sort of like glances at you, but in quite a dismissive way. Like,
Oh, who the hell is Bucky?
No, that's okay.
She finishes the Skyward Sanctum. The kind of purple magic closes. And then she leans up and looks over. Well, the dwarf did want to be disintegrated. I suppose I will grant him his wish.
Well, I'm gonna drink the potion
The main event.
and relocate.
She is going to use an action to cast Finger of Death then.
Well, Ocean's gonna say, wait.
Oh,
Don't
that is
anybody-
crackling through the air because we have potion drinking. So potion drank. That's the first action. You disappear. Now let's just real quick check. It would usually be a Constitution saving throw, and I would allow most characters to switch this for Dex in this situation, but that would be worse. What I'm going to do is give you advantage on this. Right? Because you can basically be like, tumble out of the way. She points her arm out. There is a crackle of darkness that kind of is almost burns through the air like slow lightning. To where Bogdan was a moment ago.
If I roll another 2, we need to see subs in the chat.
Thank you.
I rolled a 3. Sorry.
You guys don't know. There is a like smoke where the blast hit, and she seems satisfied enough with that.
As Shal, after if it's like after a few moments and she doesn't speak further, as Shal will speak up and will say, "We continue then. Is the site of the ritual to be within the asylum? It seems to me the best conduit for such power."
In a way, you would be correct. But the walls would provide it quite difficult for me to reap the Spiderkin in this camp to return the Daimao to power. So we will do it here and now.
And if you only needed the single soul that could be within the walls with you?
She looks at Ocean, and her head droops.
As Shal would like extend telepathy to Ocean in this moment, and there would just be a very faint whisper of like, "Don't fuck this up."
She would say, "I would not wish to sacrifice Ocean or the child. These spiders are meaningless to me. They are
And
not."
is that not precisely why they are not a fitting sacrifice for Lefura?
Yeah. Ian knows what
Big
he's
play. This could be either a persuasion or a deception. I don't know. I don't think you're very good at either.
It doesn't actually matter
No.
for me. I mean, Ashal is being honest about that. Oh.
doing. Can I? Oh, that's too...
Well, you can, now that you can maybe get what his plan is, you can kind of agree with him. Yeah. Because she's not feeling that much convinced right now. You kind of need to sell that if you're like, oh, I want this too, you know? You'd have to do that quickly.
Yes. Yes. I agree that the sacrifice of many lesser lives is not fitting to bring back one so great.
You can give me a deception check. It goes against like everything you stand for to say it.
I feel like I'm just sort of hedging, like. Ooh.
Spiderkin are very upset.
That was.
I think that was an old roll.
Yeah, I think that
because,
was an old roll. It was only just.
Yeah, if you haven't got it open as like your main tab, the previous rolls will roll once later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
11.
We have escalated to rolling 3s.
You know how I feel. It is painful for me to even consider the sacrifice of a single life. There must be another way.
The sacrifice of one life is less than the many, and Oshun has already sacrificed her eyes for less.
Allow you another deception check, Ocean. You don't have advantage. It's like kind of gives advantage, but the fact that you're still trying is kind of disadvantage. So
Come on, get one good roll.
Get good!
That's
16's
better.
pretty good. The Mad Priestess will hesitate. Her lower hands click and clack at the dark amulet.
While this is happening, can I ask a question?
Sure.
How thick would I even know? How thick is the roof?
You know stone.
The roof
How thick
is
is the map?
not that thick.
thick is
The
the
actual asylum is further down than just the roof.
Right.
It's like a spiral staircase, but I would say probably like a 4 foot of stone in most places.
Cool. Thank you.
More on the outer walls. The Mad Priestess is deep in thought for a moment. And takes a step towards Oshun. And will put one hand on her cheek and one hand on her belly.
Oshun is going to look her in the face and say, "You do not have to do this alone. There are people who can help you.
Now that's a persuasion roll.
Is this truly what will make you happy, Priestess Domina?"
You can give me a persuasion roll. There is not a moment of realization upon her eyes when you say her name. This is not about happiness. Happiness is irrelevant. No. You are correct, Ocean. You have always been telling me, and people throughout your entire life, that it is worth seeking what is for the betterment of oneself and the others. I will take this soul and theirs. I will have them both! And she is going to stretch out the other hand to the camp, and white soul magic is going to start swelling. What do you want to do?
Oshun's going to like raise her eyes to the sky and is just gibbly tears are just going to roll down her face and like roll across her stomach and the priestess's hand and everything like that, and then just say, "Then I'll have to return you to the embrace of Mother Ivrith and place your body in the church as a warning to the other priestesses," and is going to vampire touch.
We are so screwed.
I know.
We are so
I
screwed.
know. I know. I have nothing Nice.
Make a melee spell attack.
A melee spell attack. So
It's literally it's set up there.
You know what?
Oh.
We won't even do this on our battle map. Now let me check her AC.
my hands are sweating.
Knees
That's
weak,
a hit.
arms are heavy.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
And then she's just going to all legs, like she's gonna like rise up on some of her legs, and the other legs are like doing the spider rear back position, and she's just gonna say, "End this, Domina! End this madness!"
She's gonna end it.
As Charles and me is like, yeah.
We're all in.
Okay.
You are all in right now. Okay, I need to real quick adjust something. And it's not my pants. If you were wondering, as people are prone to do. Just gotta prep the battle map for the fight. That you've totally.
While this is happening, I'm gonna drink my health potion.
For sure. For sure. I need stairs.
Sure, now I roll well.
Oh, that's just the the fate of it, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have the Mad Priestess with Oshun and a Shal and an invisible Bogdan, and we're gonna have a battle map. Come on, roll 20. Let me do it.
Hey, Ian, remember when you got rid of all our reinforcements?
Yeah, because I figured we might be able to get her into the dream realm. Unfortunately, that's not happening. And my god,
Oh,
that friggin'
shit!
token.
Oh shit!
I did want to make her token animate and shift and move in an uncomfortable way, but I couldn't. I didn't quite have the time.
Next time.
But I need you guys to start rolling initiatives, friends.
Come on, I need a good initiative this one damn time. And I never get good initiative when I need it. I only get it when I don't need it. And that's not good initiative!
I see you have taken my rolls, Ian. The
I need your roll!
You can keep it. Keep the 2.
Where is my boy Voss, who might join the fight at some point?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, like when you're dead. Like he's like, huh, oh, I didn't know who they were. I don't really care. After that.
End this madness.
Yeah. There he is. His token was called Nor, not Voss, which makes sense. But I want to roll initiative for him too, of course. Man, it's pretty fitting that in the real world, it's so suddenly been getting darker in here for the last rest of the whole thing. Okay. Well, luckily for Voss, shitty roll, so have fun with that. And Priestess herself will have a roll of not much better. I mean, she's surprised by this. So, in this moment of betrayal, as you grip her and send necromantic magic into her, she is stunned for a moment. Not mechanically, but just this is not what she thought was going to happen. Almost the expression of you've just made a faux pas, a social faux pas. Bogdan, who is invisible, What do you want to do?
Oh shit! I didn't realize I was first. I've never been first before.
You you are first somehow.
The spell ends. Okay, well that's just. I can't even cast a spell without it ending.
No, you don't. You're not concentrating. Well, invisibility potion. It's a weird rule.
It just says the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. How is this? This is a drop or an incline? Or like is this above or
that's
below
like
me?
7 foot up. That's the story up.
7 foot up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it like difficult terrain on the stairs?
The stairs go down into the asylum, so they won't help you here. There's no stairs up to the stage. You always have to climb it.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Realistically, if I didn't prepare this battle map with the stage, so there would probably be more to that. If
Sure. Okay.
I didn't think you'd actually fight her.
Well, joke's on you. We're retarded. All right. That's 15 feet. What do I have to do to climb this?
Make an athletics check or do something smart.
Make an athletics check and don't roll a 2.
Hey. Good vibes. See.
Yeah,
Got 2,
you can invisibly heft up on there.
Okay. And how much movement does that take?
I'd say that's your action.
Oh, okay. That's me.
Oh, Shun, you just so vampiric touch continues. It's not a one-time banger.
Cool.
You can do it again if you want. It's basically like you are now able to use vampiric touch until your concentration on it drops.
Okay.
Would you like to do that, or would you like to do something else?
She's just going to prepare. Can I prepare a spell?
Depending on the X and Y of it, yes.
Okay.
I think preparing a spell would break your concentration on.
That's right. Preparing a spell breaks concentration because you're essentially concentrating on the spell you were about to cast instead of concentrating on the spell you are concentrating on. So, but that's fine. You can just use vampiric touch as just a one-off. What do you think?
In that case, she'll keep vampiric touch just sort of like as a keep away slappy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then just keep shouting like, I need to stop quoting
No, it's D&D.
Gandalf.
Quote things. It's important. It's part of the whole thing.
And just like keep saying, end this, come back to the embrace of Mother Ivrith Domina. This heart is where you truly are. This heart.
She's gonna look down at you and just smile uncomfortably wide with far too many fang-like teeth. I will be welcomed back into the embrace of Ivrith, chanted after like a hero when she returns, alongside you. And she is... Elements of her chitin are going to open, revealing the flesh inside. Basically her face like open as she will let out a shriek, and soul energy from the spiderkin filling the area will just start through the air in like arches of energy. I'm going to need you three to make for me charisma saving throws. And this is not it's happened instantly, but you can see this is the moment where all the spiderkin are like, like they get down on one knee or like up against the wall or something, right? Like they're just like getting weakened. So, Ashal's fine.
Shun, you were the chosen one.
No, this is just my wand battle, just like pushing and pulling the power.
It could be. So, Bogdan and Ocean are going to take math 19 psychic damage from this as it is occurring, and she is siphoning energy, and it's like siphoning from her main hand into the amulet, which is starting to like crackle and spark with magic. Voss isn't joining yet. Ashar.
I want to jury rig the teleport scroll so I can like throw it at Ocean and get her out of here. I don't know, but that's not really
when you say it, anyone you are touching and you is teleported.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you could say bye-bye, Bogdan. So long, Bogdan.
Rude.
And just get out of it. We don't know. They don't know where you are. So. But Bogdan's potion does also have a second use of it. He could like push it to someone's hand.
Yes, because invisibility is doing so well right now.
Hey, she can't see you, but you can see her, and you wish you didn't.
What technically would it be to use telepathy to communicate? Is that going to be an action, or is that just going to be a free action for me?
If there is a role involved with what you are trying to achieve, it is an action. If you are just communicating, it's free. It's just like
communicating. I am just going to send. I am just going to. Okay. I should have counted that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am going to firstly free action interact with an item. I will push the scroll into Ocean's hands, the teleport scroll.
Teleport scroll.
And telepathically say to her, "This is a fight we cannot win. Get Bogdan and get out of here, you fool!"
Fly, you fools!
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
like Fly, you fools, but with less respect.
So, I have some basic understanding of umbral magics and stuff. Is there a way I can interfere with her siphoning of the souls, or is my best bet to try and get at the amulet?
Getting the amulet from her would mean that it wouldn't be able to go right into the souls, wouldn't be able to go right in. She's basically using the souls to fuel the fell magic to resurrect Lethura. I actually misspoke when I said her soul is in the amulet, but it kind of is, or it kind of isn't. It's like it's imprinted.
Yeah, that's sort of what Charlotte shoots last session.
So it's multiple things would probably interfere enough to slow her down. If you were to activate the sigil inside the asylum, it would probably slow her down because it would be like what she's prepared for. There's a lot of things like that. Getting the amulet away from her is a surefire success. She is a giant spider woman.
She is a giant spider woman. Is she? How is she holding the
amulet? Is in her two small hands, which are like smaller than a regular human's. While the soul siphon is with her major ones.
And is the amulet a valid target for Essence Trap?
Theoretically. You don't know if it would do anything.
Okay.
A lot of theoreticals here.
A lot of theoreticals. So very small. She is a giant spider lady, but she has very small hands currently holding the amulet.
Yeah, they're her secondary front. They have secondary arms, so they're smaller and they're clutching it like in by the chain.
I would like to cast Maelstrom in such a way that it will pull the amulet out of her hands, because theoretically they're very weak.
Off the stage.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what That's what
I'll go ahead and cast it. It will be cast on Oshon as well.
That's fine. If Ocean gets pulled away,
So
all the
Ocean,
better.
you're gonna need to give me a strength save. He did just say get out of here and then hit you with a spell.
Well, I tried to get
That's
you
what
out of here.
sorcerers do, though. You know, like sorcerers, friendly fire. It's important.
There you go. You're pulled away.
To where though?
Well, I don't know where exactly.
Probably our best roll in the last 10 minutes.
presume
It would be
somewhere
off and
around
down.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'd be off and down, which means you are going to take fall damage. The main thing being that you are going to be prone when you hit the ground. Do you want to know what's really annoying, Ian?
What?
She got exactly what she needed to save there.
Ah!
So it was a very good and close plan. You can take 7 fall damage, Ocean.
Oh shit.
You damaged me more than anything.
Well, no, you took 19 damage from that
Okay,
previous
cool.
thing.
Yes.
I think that might actually be enough to knock you out.
It's important to know that, if that is the case. So
And
make
as
sure
Shah
you're doing that
will just call out to the Mad Priestess, I will not let you complete this as long as there is still umbral power in my veins.
Nice. So it is definitely one of those things where you send like the implosion of umbral storm magic over there, and she does have to like grab the thing and hold it close to her chest to not drop it, which terrifies her. Right? This
It's
is very
also-
important, very fragile to her, even though it's not.
It's also important to note, Ashal wouldn't know this, but Bogdan would have clearly seen Ashal thrust the teleport scroll into Ocean's
Yes.
hands, and
Yeah.
would probably be able to guess what Ashal is doing here.
Ocean, are you conscious?
I'm trying to maths.
You
and
would-
I
you
can't.
would-
You
gone
can click
down
on
to
your
11
token and you can
7, and
input
then you're
minus a number and it will do it for you.
So Ocean is unconscious.
Okay. Good to know. Bogdan, invisible. Reeling from the eldritch horror of the Mad Priestess's terrible metamorphosis. What'd you like to do, Bogdan? With your good initiative roll?
I'd like to do so much.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where it's like, what is the options? Like, Ian is just doing the same.
All right. 5, 10, 15, and drop 7 feet. That's nothing, right?
Because you are in control of it, give me a quick athletics. Like a freebie.
Why?
To not take the damage.
Why do you do this to me?
Stop
It's fine.
sucking
Uh,
while she, like flinches with the thing away.
So, yeah, you can drop down to Ocean. Easy. Ocean is, like, on the ground, on her back, probably. The spider legs are probably, like,
Yes,
all
that's
around.
exactly what I was
But she has the scroll in her hand as well.
I'm torn between making a character decision and what the decision that's best for the campaign.
Neither of those options sound good.
All right, I want to grab the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Ocean pulls the scroll.
Now, you said the way this scroll works is whoever you're touching gets teleported, right?
You and whoever you're touching, so it's both.
Okay. Is grabbing the scroll my action, or is that just part of my move?
Free interaction, right? So you could,
Okay.
you could do it
I
on
wanna
this
s-
turn if you wanted to.
I want to spend my action to climb back up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, give me a quick athletics. Easy peasy. You can climb back up with the scroll. So, for not that Ashal sees this, but of course the scroll would just disappear invisibly as you're holding it from Ocean. Ocean, I need you to make me a death save.
Yep.
Actually, I wanted to second wind as a bonus.
Good idea. Thought that was the death save for a second there, and I was like, ah. Death save, Ocean.
Yep.
Oh!
That's 2 points of death.
Oh no.
Which means on your next turn, you have a 50% chance to die. Slightly less.
Oh no.
Less than that. But
I've just freaking killed Oshun. Oh no.
Fan favorite, Oshun, leader of the campaign.
Ashal and Bogdan, please make me charisma saves.
Your hand is so cold. All of Ian's like
Flight or
Ian's
flight
in
responses.
fight or flight.
That's great. Let me just double check the DC. You might be okay. No. Yeah. Ashal is gonna take that psychic damage. It's going to be 15 psychic damage, Ashal. You're so close to this as the magic is whipping and moving, and you see glimpses of you. It's what you feared. She is tampering with the very fabric of reality. It takes 2,000 souls to do that on this level, but she isn't just returning a dead body to life. She has to reach through reality to reach whatever place Lithura Dorneb ended up in. And at the crux of this turn, the soul stuff reaches her hand. The spiderkin amongst the camp, not all of them, but the majority of them are on the ground as smoking husks. And
I lose enhanceability. I was
That's
checking
fine.
my
yeah,
enhanceability.
that one,
concentration.
we don't mind that one unless you're going to try and
Well,
samurai
it might be relevant
Dujo
for my
Rabo.
next turn. It might be relevant for my next turn, which is why I remembered it.
And she is going to start pouring the souls into the stone. There is this wispy form of shadow that is starting to form, echoing around, but not quite fully formed yet. As the soul stuff it's almost like flowing liquid in her hands. This is actually when Voss is going to reach the top of the wall and is going to
Just in time to watch us all fucking die.
yeah. Ready the blade. It's going to start glowing red, and he is going to very quickly assess that this situation is out of hand. It's like, Mad Priestess! This scheme is truly your namesake. You should have stayed dead. Wait right there while I get over there and remove your head.
Catch my breath.
Yeah, well, he did just climb up the side of a frickin' flying castle.
Dope.
Ashal, it's your turn.
I'm getting up close. I mean, she's a huge creature. Theoretically, I can move into her space, can't I?
No.
don't know
Tiny
how it
creatures
works.
can move into other people's space is the rule that we do.
But tiny can move into medium, and I'm medium.
It doesn't change at the it doesn't go all the way down.
Either way,
Unless
Can
you're
I
climbing
s-
on her.
Can I just quickly say something? Like
Yeah.
in character? Okay, in deep speech, I'm like, get that amulet.
as Charlotte is going for that amulet, more accurately, as Charlotte is going to attempt to cast Break Form on that amulet.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This my shit. All the girls stomp your feet like this, just the sound of Oshun hitting the ground.
11 is not enough to break it in one turn, but it's enough to send a crack through the gem, through the amulet. The Mad Priestess lets out a wail at the sight of that, and will kind of like just turn to try and get you away, like all her attention now on you, all of the eyes focused on Ashal, and will shift the amulet from her little hands to her big hand and hold it up, like playing keep away. But she's so big, like why wouldn't you? But it is noticeably like cracked and like leaking darkness. Bogdan, amulet is up in her hand, cracked.
I said, get the amulet, not get it further away from the ground. I'm a small boy.
It's not like Ashal had any chance of getting it with -2 athletics.
Yeah, like sumo wrestle her off the map.
So the soul energy, is that like in her face?
It's like in her left hand. And she was pouring it into the amulet.
And she's paused.
Yeah, she's temporarily paused, but that can't be like held for long, right? You know, she's got like a turn maybe she can wait.
Okay. I need to check. I don't think this is the case. I think having a weapon bound doesn't make it magical, right?
No, it is. Well, I think it's magical, your bound weapon. But that's definitely worth checking.
I don't think it's counted until like.
I don't know if it counts as a magical weapon for like overcoming resistances and stuff.
Yeah, it just says blah, blah, blah. It's magically bound. It's not the weapon becomes magical. So because one of my hand axes is bound to me, but I don't think I could do damage to a thing that's holding someone's soul.
It's already cracked. If you got the perfect like chisel hit
with a basic bitch axe,
it would be cool.
I mean, it's still got to be a physical thing.
Exactly. The physical gem is cracked.
Okay.
It's plausible. You'd have to get a good roll and pretty good damage.
Yeah, because we're just full of those. I'm going to cast Enlarge.
Yes.
And as I do, I pull out my bound hand axe, and then I'm going to action surge and yeet it at the amulet. Any chance I have advantage?
No. I can't even think of a way to cheese you advantage on that one.
Alright. This is for 5, gang.
If it's a 5.
And this is how the campaign ends.
The axe like flies over the edge. Oh,
it's so good, bad. The Mad Priestess is going to catch the enlarged axe as it flies through the air and immediately take a swing at Ashal with it.
Oh my god.
She is going to hit. It is going to deal bonus damage for being enlarged. It is still not
Extra damage is 1d4.
Yeah. We've enlarged ourselves before.
Alright, I assume that was like a reaction?
Yeah.
Because I still have my bonus action. Okay, with my bonus action, I just, it disappears and rematerializes in my hand.
It's not going to be much damage, Ian. It's only going to be 6. She rolled pretty shitty,
only.
But it's still badass.
That's still a fifth of my health. Total health before I'd already got hit.
Yeah, so bonus action, I just call it back to my hand.
Yeah, and of course now you're visible as you're enlarged.
Yeah.
And
then I'm going to go ahead and oopty schloopty my way over to her, and then I'm done.
Oh, shouldn't you gonna give me a death save?
I'd rather not.
Please.
Well, you know, I'm sure if we can get anyone revived, we can probably get Ocean revived by the Serpent Church.
Perhaps.
That's my one consolation from this situation. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, everyone. I just want to announce that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry.
Ocean just goes.
Yeah, it's very much one of those.
Back to the embrace of Mother Ivrith. Or in some kind of like near-death experience kind of realm. Is sort of like thinking about these things.
Yes, near death.
Yes.
That's definitely how I describe this situation.
He's only mostly dead.
She is going to attack Ashar with her claws before she continues finishing the ritual.
I am going to try and give myself as long as possible. I am going to attempt to cackle because I hope her charisma save is worse than her attack roll.
Her attack roll was really good. Her save was bad. She's going to use a legendary action to pass.
Oh, of course she is. I mean, to be fair, a 6 plus a modifier would probably still beat my AC.
It actually wouldn't have.
Okay.
It's going to be 7 slashing damage.
I'm not dead.
Yeah, you're not dead.
I'm not dead.
Not right now.
But you're not getting better.
No.
This would have to be the day that I've broken my phone.
Yeah, that is, I think all she's going to do right now. Yeah, she can't really concentrate. She can't, like, cast another spell while she's doing this ritual. So, Ross is gonna, like, oh shit, spells in it. Fucking wank. The, Voss is going to hold up a very small scroll, like a little tiny one, and press it upon his armor, and is going to cast haste on himself. So he can then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24. And that's that. Oh, and then he gains another action that can be used to dash. So he does just super speed to the thing, blade ready. Ashal.
She's holding the amulet above her head in a single hand. I would like to cast Maelstrom above her. Like, ideally, I'd ideally like to try and crush the amulet with it, but if that's not possible, at least, like, pull it out of her grip.
Oh, so you want up and...
Yeah, I mean, I like, as this doesn't do, like, physical damage on its own, which is what I really want.
She's gonna pass that save. And she is going to laugh at all the people around her, and will just do the... This is truly pathetic that you would even attempt to stop what is coming. Well, you know, she's playing keep away with the amulet. Bogdan.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When I read the scroll, am I casting a spell?
Yes.
Does it have the range of touch?
Yes. Well, yeah, it's self and touch.
Self and touch, but it's
you
still touch.
And whoever you're touching.
I have another question. Where does the scroll take me?
Back to
Is it predetermined?
Cinnabel's chamber. So the serpent
Okay.
chamber.
I'd like to telepathically tell my bat to grab the amulet. Just get his mitts on it.
The bat can make a grapple check. Do you have the bat's strength?
Hell no.
I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here.
Yes,
Trying
I
to do
also
it this
see what you're doing
whole time.
here. It's very
Bat has a
clever.
strength of 2.
Okay, so you're gonna need to make a grapple again. Now, she doesn't have a great strength either. So
Does she have it higher than 2?
yes, but you're still
Okay.
we're making a roll off.
Okay.
So what's
20
this? A
minus
2, so it's
4.
-4. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking bat
It's
rolled better than me.
close, is the thing. It's close. The bat starts flying around her head, and she's like, "Ah," and we'll kind of close it in tightly to her.
Man, I was really hoping that would be the one.
It was a brilliant plan.
It was a. Whew.
I've had several of those tonight, and they've all rolled poorly.
Yeah. I've had several of those as well.
They've all
Yeah, and
poor-
so have I. And none of them have quite worked.
Your hand is so clammy. It's
I feel so
adorable.
bad.
No, don't. I don't feel bad.
I don't know what to do now. Okay, so I was just hoping that she wouldn't notice the bat and he would just kind of land.
So do you end your turn? Is there anything else you can do?
No, I don't think that I could just do that. That wasn't even an action.
It's like a free action to basically use the bat's action. Right.
Yeah, I can telepathically communicate with it.
So that, yeah,
right?
exactly. So that's fair.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to do?
Okay. Well, I know what I want to do, but I don't want to screw up anything.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure there's much left to screw up, to be honest.
Nobody cares about Oshun's slowly cooling body.
Well, I don't know you're dead.
more hectic stuff going on, I guess.
I like. Can we gamble that Voss has this? Hey, Voss, you got it, bro. I'm gonna try to wrest the damn thing from her hands.
This is another grapple check.
Yeah. I believe with enlarge, do I get +4 d4 to my strength tests, or is that just
You
my?
just have advantage, don't you?
I think you just have advantage on grappling.
Yeah, I have advantage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Go ahead.
it's just a strength check, or
Yeah, athletics if you've got it.
Okay, well, it's not trained. I really should have, man.
It's a good roll. She got better.
All right,
Push
well, I
attempt
already
to trying to
smashed
grapple.
Yeah, so that's me. I'm done.
She's going to start just cackling. This has all been quite invigorating, quite fun, and quite sorrowful all at once. But I'm afraid it's all over for you. And she is going to make one hand meet the other. Amulet to soul stuff. And from shadow energy, a elven form is going to creep up from the ground. The umbral energy becomes solid, in some ways similar to the texture of the stone itself, but a little bit more organic. It makes the form of a slender usurper elf, hair in a single braid, but it's not quite living again. The skin is sallow down to bone, but the bone and skin is all just umbral essence. That glows with darkness as she resurrects Lithura as a umbral lich.
Like you do.
The amulet, once this is all done, is going to shatter into crystalline fragments. And the Mad Priestess is going to just immediately kind of put down any defenses and kind of, stop fighting. She's done. She did what she needed to do. Funnily enough, Lithura resurrected. Her initiative is just barely out of alignment right now, so you do actually kind of have another turn. And she is just going to, snap her neck and tendons and kind of, look at her hands. You kind of, see through where the muscles and sinew doesn't quite sort of fit. And, look at the surroundings and look at the Mad Priestess and just kind of nod. Voss is going to strike. Because of course he is. And is going to hit. So there's going to be some damage over there. But, and it is going to be one of those things where, he swings at the Mad Priestess, probably taking off the arm that had the amulet in it, but it's just, a moment too late, leaving, just a red, burning, sizzling mark. But, and he's focused. The eyes of the Dragon Mask, flash and focus upon the Priestess. He has another attack, of course. But it's not going to be taking her down yet. Ashal, the ritual was completed.
I don't suppose that there's anything I can do with my connection to the Umbral to try and interfere at this stage.
It's done.
It's done. You know what? I still have one vague card to play. This is an Umbral Lich. It is using power from the Umbral Realm. I use that power for my blood magic.
Mm-hmm.
It probably won't do anything, but I will attempt to cast Essence Trap on LoFiJoe.
Yeah, for sure.
And
You guys don't know when to retreat.
well, I can't retreat.
Well,
Bogdan's got the scroll. I can't retreat at the moment. I don't even know that.
She's not quite like all the way together yet, and so this does actually like work. She's like, and umbral energy is going to be drawn from her to you, and it does fill up a gem. The gem starts rattling and moving. She's not like, she's just kind of like, right? She's still like very much together, but she did take, 9 necrotic damage. Bogdan. Ritual's done. Ocean is not moving.
Yeah, I just grab Ashal and read the scroll.
Ashal, not even Ocean? Because you can touch.
I'm 7 feet
both.
above her.
Well, you're giant.
I can?
Yeah, you're.
Oh, then
giant,
yeah,
so you
both
could
of them.
go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bat holds the scroll in front of me.
I was about to flip.
I didn't know I could reach you. I'm just getting
No,
the hell out of there.
it's because you're like you're giant right now,
I'm
right?
big.
So you
Yeah,
can
I'm big.
like lean down,
Yeah.
swap.
Yeah, just
You say a
Let's get it.
teleport scroll, and from one moment you are atop the
Shit.
asylum, staring down a mad ascended priestess and her mistress returned as a lich. In the second moment, you are within the quiet and calm halls of Serpent Church. As you all appear upon the magic circle there, Ocean's body tumbles quite lifeless out of Bogdan's arm.
Can you not hurl my body, please? Can it just be more of a Cedric Diggory thump?
Yeah. For sure.
Ashal just slumps. Stops floating, just slumps to the floor. You're muted.
Bogdan will just shrink back to his normal size.
A lot happens in the next following moments. Recognizing that this was a loss, when Cinnabelle enters the room, she will immediately start acting. Acting
Trust Cinnabelle.
to do what Ocean made her promise to do if she returned not alive.
If she returned or cannot revive her. Cinnabelle, I trust Cinnabelle to try to revive her before anything else.
It hasn't been 5 minutes.
Hasn't even been a minute.
It hasn't even been a minute!
Come on!
You're still within Revivify time, yeah.
Come on!
It's true.
Everyone join hands. Everybody join hands.
Okay, but you have to roll for it.
Now you have to see how much does Cinnabelle love you. Is she gonna actually spend 300 gold on you? Yeah. She is going to immediately, just take up a diamond, crunch it in between her hands, and kind of blow it onto Ocean, and Ocean is going to start breathe again. It's going to breathe again.
Oh my god!
Ooh. And you are there in the magic circle in the Serpent Church. Defeated.
I don't think she's even going to compute that she's alive for a moment. I think she's going to hold Cinnabelle's hand and say, even though it's probably not necessary now, just say, remove the child.
She'll nod. And we'll look to the rest of the party and we'll say, yes, I think the danger is grave enough. We're going to do what we can.
I'm so happy she's alive! Oh my god.
Is there anything any of you would like to do immediately?
Yeah.
Drink and cry is not a mechanical option.
No, I
I'm
think
pretty sure it is.
I think Bogdan is gonna have to be like, well,
As Charlotte's just slumped on the floor.
My people must be prepared for a counterattack. Which means I have to expedite my plans. I think I have to go.
Yeah. Seems
I don't
like
suppose
Ashal
I
is gonna
could-
reply. Yeah.
I don't suppose I could convince you to come with me, I shall.
Ashal will actually, like, there's like a moment, like when spoken to, there's a bit of a jerk, and Ashal will look up at Bogdan and will say,
You mean look down?
well, look, no, Ashal is slumped. Ashal
Oh.
Would this be like the instant you returned, or like after 5 minutes or so?
Like, as soon as all that went down.
Okay.
You know. Yeah.
Ashal is stopped floating the second they got back, literally
Yeah.
slumped on the floor, and they
Wow.
will look up at Bogdan and will say, "You would have a failure such as I to your aid."
A while ago, you and I discussed a matter of trust, and if I'm not presumptuous, I believe you and I can trust one another, and I need someone I can trust.
The advisor to the throne, then.
First advisor to a usurper himself. I have to take the throne first. It won't be easy.
A fitting position for an outcast.
Thought
Very
you'd like that.
well, it is a more fitting place for one such as I than such hallowed chambers.
Ocean had been carried away by Cinnabelle and the other priestesses. And after a few minutes, you hear struggled but angry crying of a child. A very small little child, but a child. As you basically underwent an emergency C-section after that. That's gonna leave a mark.
Literally and metaphorically.
Right. So you have a moment of untold death, followed by a moment of prestigious life. Hopeful or depressing depends on your outlook.
I think she would have enough presence. She's not going to she's not moving much at all. She's probably going to have it placed on her chest or something like that. She's pretty much dozing or asleep.
Like
for the whole
pain
thing.
coma as well.
But she also probably whispers to Cinnabelle in barely coherent sort of but Cinnabelle gets it to ask the others to come in just to look at the
Sure. Yeah.
not the whole thing.
Yeah,
Right.
Cinnabelle will kind of motion for you two to enter this I mean, they have an infirmary ward really, really close. And would you come in?
Yeah.
Ashal would definitely be very hesitant, but when Bogdan went in, would follow.
The
And Bogdan will take his helmet off.
yeah, where you head inside the infirmary. The place has been set aside with a bed that is definitely the size for Ocean. Cinnabelle had been preparing for this eventuality, but also blood, right? Because she's just been ripped open and is still kind of open. They're dealing with it. But on Ocean's chest is a very, very tiny, just mad. The face is just and right now is kind of red skinned, actually, kind of a purpley beetroot red little elf already with little tuft of hair, a single little
I think she is holding Cinnabel's hand, like, obviously, but she, like, reaches over to take Bogdan and Charles' hands in her other. Like, she probably has the front spider legs just sort of, like, curled around the child.
Yeah.
And she's just barely going to, like, not really open her eyes, but just, like, her hair is just cascading to the floor, just huge hair, and it's just going to, like, sort of loll to the side and just sort of, like, as she, like, I think you feel that even though her hand is so huge compared to even the two of yours, like, it's more like the weight of it is bringing you closer. And she'll just sort of whisper, "Tell me what you see." Because she's not coherent enough to do anything other than be like, "There's a small warm weight."
Could Ashal, like, actually try and, like, mentally show her? It would be a step for him.
Yeah, I think as Charles would, like, on the initial touch would flinch, and you could see them trembling, like, with the touch, but they would try and reach out, and they would, like, the telepathic bond as Charles extends is always a bit shaky and a bit jagged around the edges because they're relatively unpracticed. This time, what you get when there's the touch is just the sense of failure and inadequacy that would just flow until Ashal gets control of it, but then would, with extreme effort, like, and I imagine it would be kind of like a flickering image, like it would flicker in and out because it's so because they're so unpracticed.
Like you're trying to get signal on an old TV.
Exactly, yeah, but would show.
Let me just adjust Ashal.
One tentacle up, get the angle. Yeah,
would show Ocean along with a sense of this is like the last thing that Ashal will or can do that, like, in your presence. That is what they feel.
Yeah.
And I think I also just sort of, she wants the intentionality of their interaction, the act of speaking. If Bogdan wanted to say anything. Or anything.
Bogdan
like
seems like a silent person in a thing like this. I think that's a very dwarven thing.
I think if anyone paid attention to Bogdan, which no one is, but if anyone were, his eyes are actually, like, wide and afraid. Like, he doesn't know anything about this baby, and he doesn't want to mess with it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect place to end this session here. And we will see what's to happen next, I suppose. Yeah. Because there's a few ways things could go. I think there'll probably be some discussions off stream about it. But in a way, everything that was planned kind of came to a head. One way or another, right? Things are different now.
Everything just went to hell in a handbasket.
It's like the Binding of Isaac thing where it's like, everything is worse now. Like, everything is worse now. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see where we want to go from here. There's a few options, and of course, probably Discord and Twitter will be where we talk about that in the next couple of weeks. But thank you all for being here. It was great. It's a rare situation where as a DM you get to do like the evil scheme and kind of the good guys scheme at the same time. So that's fun. Where it's like you lost but not forever, right? That's always an interesting situation to leave the world in. Huge ramifications for a lot of things that happened. Why don't, before we leave, go ahead and talk a little bit about what we have going on and ourselves and what we think about what just happened, starting with Jacob. I'm sorry you got shit rolls during, like, the crux of that, but at the same time,
okay.
It was
I've
good.
got really good wine downstairs. It'll be okay. That was intense. Like,
Yeah.
damn. Anyway, every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central North American, I have a show called Die Roll over at twitch.tv/JakeandZol. We're playing an alternity campaign. It's a far-flung future. It is lots of fun. And yeah, so be nice if we've seen a few of you tune in, and it's been really nice. So it'd be cool if you guys wanted to come over and watch some of that. Something a little different from D&D, a little different. And yeah, and as always, every week, thanks to Ollie for having me on. It's a blast. Hopefully, I didn't screw things up for him.
Oh,
I didn't
no.
think Ashal was gonna say yes.
We'll you know, that's one of the really nice things about having such a living world, is that, like, for one way or another, you have an impact. Things are gonna, you know, be set in the history books.
Well, no matter what happens, I'm really excited, and I'm hoping to stay involved.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so great playing with you.
Yes. No, I mean, like, the party, like, would have been just screwed without Bogdan. Even though Bogdan didn't, you know, nearly fell off a rope and had a hard time climbing the flying castle. You know, it was a very important member of the team.
I think this is the
And
lowest
the bat
point.
was very important too. Yeah, we could only go up from here.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would we do without your pratfalls and your
Next session, I'll roll some 4s. How about that?
No, don't disintegrate me, Ashal.
It was brilliant.
You gotta make the move like that. You gotta try, like, every time. All right, Ian, how are you doing, buddy?
I genuinely felt bad there. Like, I genuinely felt like I'd fucked everything up for everyone with bad plans that had gone wrong. I am glad that reached a kind of positive resolution.
It's
There's a
okay.
little glint in the darkness.
Yeah. God, you're sweaty.
And yeah,
That's
I'm
fair.
slightly
It's
ill, and my
flight or
body
flight.
can't control its
Yeah.
temperature very well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's fair.
I
You're doing
just
well.
I tried all the big plays there, and I got so close to every single one.
One numeral away in a couple of situations, which is crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I am curious to know where we go from here. This is a brilliant campaign. I mean, I was looking forward to this session. It didn't go at all how I'd expected it to go, but it still went really well. And I can't wait for the next one. But if you are needing more Olliverse in the meantime, if you subscribe to Ollie's Patreon for $5 a month, you can get access to the podcast of our Monday game. Admittedly, slightly lower stakes.
Might be refreshing.
Don't try
right
and
about
convince
now.
that to the captain of the ship you're on. To the captain,
Yes.
these stakes are just as dire.
Yes, exactly. But it's all perspective, isn't it? But it's a very different campaign. So, but it's still good. It's still good D&D.
It's great.
It
It's
is
great classic D&D shenanigans.
Exactly.
The last session, so good classic D&D shenanigans of just,
Absolutely.
I can't believe you did that. That
it
was the
kind of worked
plan. Oh, it kind of worked. You're kind of failing forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
And next Monday, they have to fight a usurper elf lich.
Yeah, so the usurper of Lich is just going to pop up from the water and be like, yeah.
That's the thing. But if the Monday game, like if we go back to the Silver Sentinels in the Monday game after the current one,
Yes.
then we might see something against what's just happened.
The Silver Sentinels campaign, which would be the continuation of Fallow Gem Academy, has stakes in this affair.
Yes.
Due to Ian's character Sukai. So.
Yep.
And Zoe, how you doing?
Well, I was
I'm
like,
so sorry.
it's okay. It's really okay. Like, for some reason, like, I wasn't feeling. Maybe I just was putting off.
Maybe you didn't
feeling
think it like the
awful.
tension.
Because, like,
you know?
Ocean, like, I know there are ways that you can revive a character. I also know that Cinnabelle, like, would probably be able to do it. as long as like they got my body away.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you couldn't see her, but I was just like every turn I was just sort of like waiting to be transported back, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah,
Next
you
time?
would
Is
totally
someone
right
gonna
with
save me?
with the Revivify too, because like yeah, she would totally have been ready to try that first. If it was the higher level Resurrect, you know,
Yeah.
maybe,
fully
but
I was like, okay, so there's a strong chance that Oshun is just that's it for Oshun. And I was like, that's okay. Oshun has no problems with dying because she's a grave cleric. Like,
it's true.
she would have been like returned to the weave of Ivrith, and that's all fine and stuff. It's just her promise to Ivrith to keep the child
The
safe.
baby.
That's the well, that's also something else I wanted to quickly mention. That I'm sorry if anyone felt like we were stepping too close to those sorts of things.
Yeah.
This is a no dead baby stream. There was no way this child was ever in danger, ever. Like, if Oshun died properly, then like, and it was irreversible, obviously, then child would be removed. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. It's magic. So that's like,
Yeah,
no
for sure.
problems. And also, like, Oshun was going to like disappear into the stone, but you were like, get out of here. And I was like, but I'm not. And then I thought maybe like, anyway, lots of thoughts, lots of chaos. But if you want to know about the fun board game that's in this world called Schism that Ollie's making and I'm writing for, then you can go on to Board Game Geek and look up Schism, Immolation of Earthenfair, where there's lots of information about the minis and the game and how you play and all that good stuff. And you can interact with us and we'll have a chat about Schism. We're very excited, and we're working on some little writing project that could be fun. And yeah, I'm just sort of like still sort of like, oh, she's alive, because what, I don't even have anyone I would want to play after Oshun. I was like, maybe
Not
I'll
in
just
this
take
story.
myself off. No.
If it would be different. It would be
a different story.
It would be like we'd probably take a break and do something like, you know, maybe Bogdan's doing stuff in the background, maybe we do
I'd
their own
love
thing, but you know.
to do you guys. But like, I was like, would I take the place of like Cinnabelle or like something? I was like,
Who knows? But we don't need to worry about that because Oshun is
Not
alive. With the baby. So that's that. You can catch us here most Wednesdays. But there might be a break because obviously there's big. So Discord, Twitter will kind of let you know one way or another. Also do other streams on this channel, which is another good way to keep it up to date. You know, you can kind of ask what's going on. Do those pretty much every other day when I can. There's also a Friday show on Fable Scraps I do, which is Warhammer 40k Doom Lore. We're going to leave you now, but this show is supported by Patreon. You can support us on Patreon, and it's going to be some of your names are going to pop up. Hey!
hey.
So we'll see you then.